Hello everyone, Ritu ma'am here. Today we will start our next topic from chapter hydrocarbon, and it is alkynes. So alkynes are the compound in which there is presence of carbon-carbon triple bond, right? That means it consists multiple bonds, but it consists triple bond in the form of multiple bond, right? General formula of alkyne is, its general formula is CnH2n minus 2, right? CnH2n minus 2, that means it consists lesser number of hydrogen as compared to alkane and alkene. Okay, so next is the its nomenclature and isomerism. So I am taking nomenclature in brief, as you all are familiar to the nomenclature of alkynes. So for example, I am taking one example. I am taking the simplest member of alkyne, and it is CH triple bond CH, that is acetylene. Okay, acetylene is the common name. Its IUPAC name is ethyne. It is because it consists two carbon, that means word root plus "-ine" as a suffix. "-ine" is used as a suffix. That means here we are using "-ine" as a suffix in case of alkyne. In the same way, if we take CH3 C triple bond CH, then the name will be prop plus "-ine". This is ethyne and this will be propyne, right? The next is the if we discuss the isomerism. Isomerism in case of ethyne depends on the position of the triple bond, as well as it consists in the form of chain isomer and branch isomer. That means position isomers, also chain isomers. It consists position isomers form and chain isomers form. For example, I am taking here one example. I am taking CH triple bond CH2 CH2 CS3. So 1 2 3 4 5 C5 3 4 5 6 7 8 H8, right? That means this can be written as, first here I am writing it in the form of pentyne, 1 pentyne, right? We can write it in the form of 2 pentyne also. I am writing here it in the form of 2 pentyne. So in the first compound and in the second compound, the compound has same molecular formula, but there is difference in the position of the triple bond, right? So the first and second structure are, these are the position isomers of each other. These are the position isomers of each other. Now come to the next possibility. If we can write it in other form, that we can write this compound in the form of branch chain, right? That means I can write this compound in this way also, right? 3 3 6 7 and 8, 1 2 3 4 5. That means it is 3 methyl but 1 ine, 3 methyl but 1 ine. That means in this compound, the difference in the form of chain, here in both the compounds, the compound is in the form of straight chain compound, where in this compound it exists in the form of branch chain. So the compound, this one and this one, both compounds, the second one and third one, or we can say first, second and third, these are chain isomer with each other. Chain isomer. This compound is chain isomer with first and second. So in this way we can understand the isomerism in case of alkynes. Now come to the structure of triple bond. Structure of triple bond. Okay, So structure of triple bond. So as we all know that in alkyne there is presence of one triple bond. Triple bond means there will be formation of 1 sigma and 2 pi, right? And 1 sigma is formed by the overlapping of sp-sp hybridized carbon atom orbital, whereas the pi bond is formed by the overlapping of unhybridized p orbital. Okay, so let's understand it. If I have carbon is 6, that means 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1 and 2pz0. This will be the configuration of carbon. Now it undergoes the sp hybridization in case of alkyne, that means 1s2, 2s1, 2px1, 2py1 and 2pz1. This is the ground state and this is the excited state, right? So this one undergo the hybridization. They combine together, undergo the hybridization, right, and form sp hybridized orbital. Okay, and these two orbitals will be unhybridized p orbital. So these two orbital take part in the formation of sigma bond, whereas these two p orbital will participating in the formation of pi bond, right? So let's see. As we know that sp orbital means it exists in the form of linear structure. That means the angle will be 180 degree, right? So we have two carbon. If we take the case of, I am taking the case of CH triple bond CH, right? So like this, okay, we have two carbon, they overlap each other, the sp orbital overlap each other. This angle will be, as you know, this is the angle 180 degree angle, right? Here the hydrogen, this is hydrogen s orbital, this is here overlapping with hydrogen s orbital, right? This is sp and this is also sp. So by overlapping of hybridized orbital with hydrogen, there will be formation of sigma bond. In the same way here also sigma bond, right? Now the formation of pi bond takes place as the two unhybridized p orbital are perpendicular to the plane and perpendicular to each other also, right, in this way. So they overlap, literal overlap will take place here. And in such a way there will be formation of pi bond. So one pi and the second pi. So by overlapping, the literal overlapping of two unhybridized p orbital form pi bonds between two carbon atoms, right? Whereas the sigma bond is formed because of the overlapping of hybridized sp-sp orbital of carbon atom. So in such a way there will be formation of 1 sigma and 2 pi in case of alkyne, and here I have taken the example of ethyne. So next is the preparation. Let's start the preparation of alkyne. Preparation of alkyne, right? So the first preparation is from calcium carbide. First preparation is from calcium carbide. See, by this method, industrially we can say commercially we prepare the alkyne. Ethyne is mainly prepared by this method. First of all, ethyne is prepared by treating calcium carbide with water. You have to remember, we have to react calcium carbide with water. But calcium carbide is first prepared by heating quicklime with coke, right? So for quicklime, first of all we have to prepare quicklime, then we have to convert it into calcium carbide, and then we react it with water, and there will be formation of ethyne molecule. So first of all we have CaCO3, right? We heat it, we all aware to this equation. So we will get CaO and CO2 will release from here as quicklime. We get the quicklime, we react it with coke, right? And there will be formation of CaC2 and CO. Just balance this equation, we will get calcium carbide. This is calcium carbide, right? Now the calcium carbide CaC2, it react with water. We react it with water, then there will be formation of C2H2, right? C2H2 and CaOH whole twice will be the byproduct. Okay, so this is ethyne, which is prepared commercially by this method. Now the second important preparation is from vicinal dihalide. From vicinal dihalide, right? Now what are vicinal dihalide? Vicinal dihalide means in which the halogen atom attached to the adjacent carbon atom of a compound, right? So if we have CH2 Br, we have vicinal dibromide. So we can say the IUPAC name is 1,2-dibromoethane, right? When we react it with alcoholic KOH, remember we are taking alcoholic KOH here. If we take the aqueous KOH, then the reaction will be different. If we are taking alcoholic KOH, then the reaction will be different. Now what will happen? This K release bromine from here. That means here there will be removal of KBr. This OH release hydrogen from this carbon in the form of water, right? Now unsaturation takes place because one valency is vacant here. So CH2 double bond CHBr, right? Because from this carbon we have released one hydrogen in the form of water molecule CH2 double bond CHBr. Now we react it with NaNH2, sodamide. We react it with sodamide, and sodamide NaBr release NaBr. This Br release in the form of NaBr, and from this carbon hydrogen release in the form of NH3, because this NH2 react with the hydrogen from this carbon, and CH triple bond CH unsaturation takes place. That means first there will be formation of alkene. After that, when we treat it with sodamide NaNH2, then there will be formation of one more pi bond, that means the triple bond, that is the alkyne. So in such a way ethyne is prepared by vicinal dihalide. Now the next thing is the properties. We are taking the properties of alkyne. So first I am taking the physical properties. So physical properties, in physical properties, the first thing, if we talk about the physical state, its physical state. So the first starting three members are gases, right? Starting 3 members are gases. Okay. The next 8 members are liquids, and the higher ones are solid. So as we know, as the molecular mass increases, the physical state also changes, because the van der Waals forces also increases with increase in the molecular mass, right? The second point is all alkynes are colorless. You remember that all alkynes are colorless. The third is, in case of ethine, there is a characteristic order. Ethine, we are taking the case of ethine. Ethine has characteristic smell, means it has some specific smell. Okay. The fourth point is, one more thing, ethine has characteristic smell, but other has no smell. Other member has no smell, that they are orderless, you can say, right? One more thing, alkynes are weakly polar. Alkynes are weakly polar in nature. They are not completely non-polar. They are weakly polar in nature. If we take the solubility, so however these are weakly polar, but still they are immiscible in water and soluble in organic solvent, right? Okay. So if we talk about the boiling point or the melting point, so they all increases with increase in the molar mass. Means this is understood, because as molecular mass increases, the extent of van der Waals forces also increases, and that's why the energy required to break the bond also increases. That means the boiling point or melting point increases with increase in the molar mass. Now come to the chemical properties. Chemical properties of alkyne. Let's take the chemical properties. So here I am taking the chemical properties. Chemical properties. First, I am taking the acidic character of alkyne. Acidic character. See, it is found that alkynes are acidic in nature, because when we react alkyne with the sodium metal or sodamine, which are strong bases, they release hydrogen gas. They liberate hydrogen gas, which indicates their acidic nature, right? So this is because we can say that there is presence of sp hybridized carbon atom, and in which the extent of S character is maximum. That means 50%. If we are taking the sp hybridized orbital, that means there is 50% S character and 50% P character. Whereas in sp2 and sp3, the extent of S character is less. It is 33.3%, whereas in sp3 it is 25% only. So because of the more extent, 50% S character present in the sp hybridized orbital of carbon atom, they generally have highest electronegativity among sp, sp2 and sp3 hybridized carbon atom. And because of more electronegativity of these carbon atom, these hybridized carbon atom, sp hybridized, these attract the shared electron pair of the carbon hydrogen bond of ethine to a greater extent, right? So if we have this CH, right, here is also CS. So as I am telling you that this carbon is sp hybridized, it has the more extent of S character. So because of which it has more electronegativity, it has more power to attract the shared electron pair of this bond towards itself, right? So there will be, we can say, hydrogen atom can be liberated as proton more easily as compared to ethene or ethane. That means hydrogen atom of ethane attached a triple bond carbon atom are acidic in nature. These are acidic in nature. That means now when I take CH, triple bond CH, and when we react it with Na, then this hydrogen replaced by sodium CH triple bond CNA and form monosodium ethanide. This is single sodium, so monosodium ethanide and liberate hydrogen gas, right? If we do the reaction further with one more sodium atom, then the other hydrogen also replace and there will be formation of disodium ethanide. Disodium ethanide, right? And again there will be release of hydrogen gas. This is the first example. If we take one more example, I am taking the case of propine. This is the propine. When it react with NaNH2, you can take NaNH2 or sodium metal. Both compounds are strong bases. Both can give the reaction with the triple bond alkyne. Compounds having triple bond, right? So when we do the reaction, so this hydrogen is directly attached to sp hybridized carbon atoms. So again the same reaction takes place. CS3C triple bond. This hydrogen is acidic in nature. Remember that only the hydrogen attached to the triple bonded carbon atom will be acidic in nature, not the other hydrogen atom. So here Na, and again there will be release of we can write in this way that hydrogen and NH2 they release in the form of NH3. When sodium react, then it release in the form H2. When NaNH2 takes place react with the reaction, then NH3 release. Okay, so if I want to write the order of acidity between alkane, alkene and alkyne, then alkynes are most acidic because of the maximum percentage of S character in the carbon atom. Then CH2 as it has 33.3% S character, and the least in the alkene. So alkanes are least acidic, whereas alkynes are most acidic in nature. Now if we compare between alkynes only, if I have CH triple bond CH, I have ethyne, I have propine, and I have butane also, then as we can see there is no hydrogen which is directly attached to carbon-carbon triple bond, so it will be least acidic. It has single one, so it will be more acidic than this compound, and it consists two hydrogen which are directly attached to carbon atom which are triply bonded, so it has the maximum acidic character. So this will be the order of acidity with respect to alkyne. Now the second type of reaction are addition reaction, right? So as we all know that alkynes contains triple bond, so obviously they give the addition reaction. They have triple bond, so the tendency of addition of hydrogen, halogen, hydrogen halide is maximum. Okay, right? The addition reaction takes place very easily because of the presence of the multiple bond, triple bond, carbon-carbon triple bond. So here I am taking the reaction, and one thing, if we have a symmetrical alkyne, the reaction takes place easily, and if we have unsymmetrical alkyne, then the reaction takes place according to Markovnikov rule, right? We have already studied Markovnikov rule in case of alkenes. So here I am taking the first one. The first reaction is addition of dihydrogen. So addition of dihydrogen, that means I am taking CH triple bond CH plus dihydrogen. That means addition of hydrogen molecule, and we take the platinum, palladium or nickel as a catalyst, right? So first atom added to this carbon here also, and it will get converted to CH2 double bond CH2, but still there is unsaturation, so further reaction takes place. Again CH3, so the addition will take place till there will be saturation takes place, right? So now there will be formation of alkane from this alkyne. Now if I am taking unsymmetrical alkyne CH3C triple bond CH, then what will happen? The same reaction takes place. Now you have to remember that there is hydrogen, go to first add to this carbon and one atom add to this carbon, that means CH3 CH double bond CH2, right? Now in further, if we again take one hydrogen here and one hydrogen here, so because we are adding hydrogen, so there will be no difficulty, it will also takes place very smoothly. Now propane takes place, preparation of propane takes place in this reaction. Now we do the reaction with halogen. The second type of reaction B is the addition of halogen. Addition of halogen. So if I am taking CH3 C triple bond CH plus I react it with bromine. As we know that bromine is red brown color liquid, when we react it with, then it add across the triple bond, right? Further reaction takes place, CH3 C Br Br CH Br Br. So bromine will add till saturation takes place. Okay. Now in this reaction you have to remember that bromine is a orange color solution. It is orange color liquid, and the reddish orange color of the solution of bromine in this case decolorized, because there will be, it will added on the across the multiple bond, across the triple bond. So this decolorization reaction of bromine across the triple bond shows the presence of unsaturation in alkynes, right? Now come to the third reaction. The third is addition of hydrogen halide. Addition of hydrogen halides. So if we have a symmetrical alkyne just like ethyne, then it is very simple reaction. Hydrogen add to a carbon and bromine add to other carbon. Further reaction takes place. Now in this reaction, now we have CH2 double bond CHBr. Hydrogen will add to the carbon having hydrogen atom, more number of hydrogen atom, and bromine to the other carbon. So this will be the product, right? The name of the compound will be 1,1-dibromo ethane, right? This will be the compound. Okay. Now if I am taking an unsymmetrical alkyne just like propine, and I want to react it with HBr, then remember that hydrogen, remember the Markovnikov rule, hydrogen always go to the carbon having more number of hydrogen atom, where the negative part will go to the carbon where is less number of hydrogen atom. That means the formation of this compound, right? 2-bromopropene is formed. If we want to do the reaction again, then the same thing, hydrogen will add to the carbon having more number of hydrogen atom, whereas bromine go to the carbon having less number of hydrogen atom. So in this way the final product is formed, which is 2,2-dibromo, right? This is 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 2,2-dibromopropane. Next reaction. So next reaction is addition of water. Addition of water. So addition of water. This reaction takes place generally in the presence of mercuric sulfate and dilute sulfuric acid when we vomit or heat it at the temperature of 333 Kelvin, right? So if we have CH triple bond CH, then addition of water takes place when we react it in the presence of mercuric sulfate. You can write HgSO4, H2SO4 also, right? You can write HgSO4 or H2SO4 also. And here we heat it at the temperature of 333 Kelvin. We just warm it. And now reaction takes place. Hydrogen, one hydrogen goes to one carbon and the other part goes to the other carbon, CHOH, right? Now isomerization takes place. That means there will be shifting of the double bond. That means this hydrogen go to this carbon and double bond shift to here, to CH3, C single bond CH double bond. That means carbonyl compound is prepared in this reaction. This is CH3CHO, that means ethanol. This is ethanol is formed in this reaction, right? You can take one more reaction. If you take an unsymmetrical alkyne, then there will be formation of ketone. Let's see. Hg2 plus H2SO4, 333 Kelvin, then CH3, hydrogen go to the carbon having more number of hydrogen according to Markovnikov. OH go to the carbon having less number of hydrogen, CH2. Then again isomerization. Hydrogen go to this carbon and double bond shift to here. So there will be formation of ketone, right? This is propanol, right? So next reaction is polymerization. We take the next reaction, and this is the last reaction of alkyne. It is polymerization. So polymerization, because of the presence of unsaturation, polymerization takes place. Polymers are simply the large molecules which are formed by the combination of or by the addition of small units which are known as the monomers, right? So the polymerization takes place in both the way, that is linear polymerization and cyclic polymerization. Both take place in case of alkyne. I am taking the case of if I am taking the case of CH triple bond CH, then if it reacts linearly, right, let n molecule of ethyne takes place, they are added together, then the bond shift in this way. Okay, C double bond CH, CH double bond CH. So a large molecule, we are getting a large molecule in this way. So in such a way we will get a long chain compound, a linear compound. Now in cyclic, the cyclic reaction, cyclic polymerization of ethyne is very important. If we take 3 molecules, we are taking only 3 molecules of ethyne, and we do the reaction in red hot tube. Red hot tube, that means the temperature is very high, 873 Kelvin. Then the compound form is cyclic in nature, and we all know this important compound. This is benzene. Benzene formation of benzene takes place. This is benzene. You can write in this way also, right? This is benzene. So cyclic polymerization of alkyne forms benzene in the reaction. So this is all about the alkynes. We have studied about its preparation, its structure, its properties, physical and chemical properties. So this is all about the alkynes. So thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you.